Así que, estimados, vamos a hacer mientras tanto el pase a Philippe. Vamos a hacer el pase a Philippe. Mientras tanto, bueno, como ya decía Philippe, a ver si, no sé si me escucha, yo voy apagando mi cámara. Y Philippe, si puedes colocar la tuya. Perfecto. A ver, dinos hola. Creo que tu micrófono hay que activarlo. No, el de GoToWebinar, ahí a ver qué te activa, a ver si te puedo activar. Ahí en GoToWebinar tienes que activar el micrófono en la herramienta como la vimos hace un rato. Ahí dale, de nuevo. Hola, hola.
Está bien.
Ahí te escucho, perfecto.
Perfecto.
Bueno, Philippe, buenos días.
Buenos días a todos. Mi nombre es Philippe Neubourg, soy francés, no hablo bien español, voy a dar mi charla en inglés, pero yo vivo en Lima después varios meses y me gusta de descubrir un poco la vida del Big Data en Latinoamérica. Y Decidio es una comunidad que existe en Francia después de 25 años y hablamos de todo que es Big Data, Business Intelligence, Data Warehouse, Artificial Intelligence, todo que es conectado con datos. Y la idea es que hoy día voy a compartir con vosotros un poco de que yo veo en las empresas hoy día en todo el mundo, porque tengo la suerte de trabajar con Europa, con Canadá, con Estados Unidos y con Latinoamérica. Voy a hablar en inglés porque es más fácil para mí. Okay, thank you very much. As I said, I will talk in English because it's much easier for me. I will begin speaking about how we transform the production methods into robotics. It's something relatively new, but we are able to transform the production methods. If you go to factories of cars, of iPhones, of everything, you will see a lot of robots. Robots are doing the work of people. And it will be the same thing for information. And if you look at information management in Office, you will see that today we are able to create software but will completely transform the way we are managing information. Yesterday, it was a manual work. And with the invention of Excel, we transform a little bit how we manage information. And today, with new artificial intelligence software like Watson or like others, we completely change the way we are managing information. And we are creating people inside computers. It will not be artificial intelligence. I will talk more about augmented intelligence. We will create software that will help people to manage information. It's absolutely not something new. When you look what people are talking about, you see that if you are following the trend of business intelligence, trend of business intelligence is going down. It was something very interesting 20 or 30 years ago, but today people are talking about big data, Internet of Things is very important, and artificial intelligence. But artificial intelligence, it's not something new. We were talking a lot about artificial intelligence 10, 20, 30 years ago. What is new is that today we can really imagine how artificial intelligence can bring some value inside the work of offices. I want to begin by talking a little bit about Internet of Things, connected objects. It's very important because at the end of this decade, in 2 or 3 years, we will have 50 billions of connected objects inside the world. 50 billions of connected objects that will collect, store, and send data to the big data. And when we talk about big data today, we are talking about the big data created by the Internet of Things. And I'm sure that you didn't hear a lot about Brontobyte, Geobyte. It's concept that will be a normal size of data in 5 to 10 years. Today, we have some organization with exabytes of data, but in 2 or 3 years, we'll talk about brontobyte. You can imagine how much data you will be able to collect thanks to Internet of Things, mobile application, everything that is connected. And all this data is very important for your company. You can be in retail, in telecommunication, in bank, and insurance. It's always important to collect data and to analyze it. But a lot of companies don't really understand that it's important and urgent. It's a kind of an emergency today to analyze data and to create value from data. Why companies don't really understand that? Because like frogs that you put in cold water with a fire, like the frogs, they are just waiting. They are just waiting, and your companies are waiting for things to change a lot. And change is never quick. Things are not changing quickly. And it's very important to understand that today you have to really take care about this big data, artificial intelligence, Internet of Things problem, because it will be more and more important every year for your company. I just will talk a little bit about fintech, about financial insurance technologies. If you are a bank today, you have new competition. Today, if you are a bank, a traditional bank, you will look at other banks and you will analyze your competition, analyzing how other banks are working. But tomorrow, this kind of bank will have new competition. It's competition from Google, Apple, Facebook, Amazon. You know that the most important bank in the world could be Apple. Apple have millions of information about us. They have millions of credit card information. And with Apple Pay, they begin to be a bank. Tomorrow, Apple or Google could be a real competitor for all banks. And you have telecommunications companies. Companies like Telefonica, like Orange, are creating banks. They are creating banks because we all use our mobile phones, and we use our mobile phones to do everything during the day, to pay. And tomorrow, this kind of telecommunication companies understood that it will be very easy to create a bank and to transform a telecommunication customer into a bank customer. And you have new kind of companies. A company like N26. N26, it's a bank from Germany. And it's a bank that allows you to create an account, to open an account just from your home with your cell phone. You will receive a MasterCard, a Master debit card, and you will be able to pay everything in all over the world without a lot of fees. And N26, it's a fintech. It's a company which is able to compete with very large banks like BBVA, like BCP. All banks could see N26 as a competitor. You have new business model from states. I'm not sure that you know a state, which is Estonia. Estonia, it's a state in the north of Europe. They created a concept of e-resident. E-resident, it's a way to be a resident of a country without moving to the country. And you can create your company, you can open your bank account, you can manage all your business from your place without moving to Estonia, but creating a company in Estonia. It's very interesting because it's a small country, 3 million people, but they imagine that tomorrow they will have 3 million e-residents that perhaps will create a company. And if they create a company, they will pay tax inside Estonia. Why is it interesting? Because Estonia is a country of Europe. So you pay in euro, you are inside the European community, and you can work with all European community. So it's very interesting because it's a competition from other states. IBAN First, it's a company that allows you to open business bank accounts in all currencies. And you can do everything online. You can open your bank account in 30 seconds directly online and receive money, and you have very low cost currency transaction fees. It's very interesting for a company. All these kind of companies are using big data, artificial intelligence to create new business models. And I will take another one, which is not inside the fintech industry. It's MoviePass. MoviePass is the Netflix of movies, the Netflix of cinema. If you want to subscribe to MoviePass, you will pay $10 per month. And for $10 per month, you can go in all movies of the United States, see all the movies that you want without paying. It's like Netflix. You pay one fixed fee per month, and you will be able to go to the movies as soon as you want. And it's very interesting because behind the business model of MoviePass, the idea is not just to sell some subscription for $10. The idea is to sell all the data about the people that will ask for the MoviePass card. And it's a business model that is based on data. It's the idea that today you can really create a company that will create more value from data and algorithm than from services. It's the idea. You can create more value from data than just from the services. And some companies like bank, like telecom, like retail, will create business model that will be based on data and algorithm. I speak about data, but it's very important to understand that without algorithm, you can do nothing with data. And I will just take an example. You have 5 types of analytics that you can do on Internet of Things. Streaming analytics, the idea to receive data on the line, on the fly, and to analyze it in real time. Machine learning is how you can ask the system to create model. Time series, when you want to use time series to predict events. Spatial analytics, when you want to use a position of an event, of something, to understand something better. It's the idea that you can predict the future with all this kind of data. And you need data and you need algorithm. It's the same if you look at football. You know that today, football, yes, it's a game, but it's a game that cannot be won without computers. And we have a lot of computers today that are analyzing football games, and that will really transform all what happened on the screen in data to change the way the trainer will organize the game of the team. It's very interesting to look at that. So it's data and algorithm. It's in business, it's in game, it's in television, it's in personal life, it's in everything. Same thing with the understanding of video. If you look at Google Video Intelligence, it's an algorithm that will be able to transform a video inside data. You know that today, if you publish a video, you cannot really understand what is inside the video. If I look at a video like this one, it's a video of a girl which is having a video blog about products, about cosmetics products. She will show some products on the screen. But if you are L'Oreal, how can you know that somewhere in New Zealand you have a girl that is showing some products inside video published on YouTube? You cannot know it. So the idea is that we can develop some algorithm that will take the video feed and that will, as you can see on the screen actually, that will recognize what kind of product you are talking about, how much time you are showing it on TV, and what kind of exposure you are giving to the company. It's the same thing with some models that you can have. I'm sorry, the video is in French. I will just show it during 1 or 2 minutes. You will not understand because it's in French, but it's very interesting that you see the image.
Et cette caméra détecte le passage de consommateurs devant la vitrine qui regarderait le mannequin. Une caméra cachée dans les yeux qui analyse votre visage et le compare à une base de données de 3 millions d'individus. Âge, sexe et même ethnie, tout est scruté.
The idea is that you will have a camera inside the eyes and you will be able to look at the people who are looking at the model. Imagine that you have this kind of model inside retail, a retail store. You will use some clothes and you will be able to count and to measure which kind of people are looking at the clothes. It's important to know if it's a woman or man, which age, which color of skin, everything, you will have all the information. And you can collect this kind of unstructured information and of course transform it inside structured information. It's what we will call augmented intelligence. I don't like to talk about artificial intelligence because I think that intelligence could never be artificial. You will try to create some programs that will be able to do the same thing than a human. But it's very interesting. Richard talked about AlphaGo. It's interesting because AlphaGo is very powerful to learn Go. But AlphaGo cannot play chess, cannot play football, cannot play any other game than Go. If you take some kid, your kid, and you show him or her a cat, you can show him 1 cat, 2 cats, your kid will understand what is a cat and will understand the difference between a cat and a dog. If you want to learn a computer what is a cat, you need millions of photos of cats to help the computer to understand what is a cat. It's very different. If you want to learn a system to play football, it's perfect. You can imagine an artificial intelligence that will learn professional football. But the same artificial intelligence will not be able to play football with your kid because it's totally different. Of course, a human being is being able to learn football and will adapt how to play football with a professional or with a kid. So I think that artificial intelligence is very powerful. It's something that can help the human being, but it doesn't have any creativity, intuition. It's not able to create the link between ideas. And the combination of both, what we call augmented intelligence, is more powerful than just human or than just machine. It's the idea of what we are creating today. And if you look at how people will use artificial intelligence, you can see that we will use artificial intelligence or augmented intelligence for all the kind of work in companies: production, accounting, legal, sales, marketing, everything. A couple of examples. If you want to automatize your customer service, you can create a chatbot. What is a chatbot? It's like a robot that will be able to understand very simple questions. The idea is not that the chatbot will replace your customer service. But if you have a customer service, you know that your customer service is answering during 90% of the time, is answering very simple questions, not interesting, not a lot of value. You can give all these simple questions to a chatbot, and you can focus your customer service on very added value questions. It's the idea of the chatbot. It's the same thing for accounting. Tomorrow, we will replace all accountants in companies by artificial intelligence. Not the chief accountants. We will replace the low level of people which are just entering invoices and information inside accounting system. It will be done by a system. And the chief accountant will be able to look at errors, will be able to check the number, will be able to create something with a higher level of value. And it's the same thing in legal. Today, in a lawyer office, you have a lot of very low-level lawyers which are just looking at contracts, reading it, searching information inside it. Today, you can create an artificial intelligence software that will do that much better, much quicker, and for a lower price than the people. Of course, we will continue to have lawyers, but the highest level of lawyer, which will use the artificial intelligence, which will use the augmented intelligence to do the things. It's important to understand that we will not replace all humans by artificial intelligence. We will replace the low level of humans, the low level of tasks done by humans. It's very important. If you have some kids, you can tell your kids, okay, you will do some accounting courses. But if you want to do some accounting courses, you have to do the best. You have to be the best because you have to be a chief accountant. In 10 years, you will need to be a chief accountant or nothing. It's very important to understand that. All the main simple tasks will be done by machines, like robots in production, like artificial intelligence, augmented intelligence inside information management. And we have a lot of examples of that. And it's very important to understand that because all the decisions, the simple decisions that will be made in companies will be relied on machine learning algorithms. In insurance, in technology, in banking, in retail, in energy, in all these industries, you will have 30 to 50% of decisions that will be based on machine learning. And it's very important to understand because it will completely change how an enterprise will be organized. If we look at it from a global point of view, it's interesting to see that this movement, this change, and how artificial and augmented intelligence will replace human, will be in high-level countries where the cost of work, the cost of labor is higher. In Japan, in Canada, in the United States, United Kingdom, Germany, of course, because it will be more interesting to replace a human by a machine. But tomorrow, when it will come to our countries here in Latin America, what will be the consequences? When it will be more interesting to buy a machine or to buy an artificial intelligence or an augmented intelligence software than to hire someone. What will be the consequences at a global level on a state, on the economy, on the work of people? It's important because all here listening to the conference, we are working in data and algorithms. We want to create this kind of thing. But what is the impact of that? What is the impact on the society? And we have to ask ourselves, what kind of life do you want to create? What kind of life do we want to create for the future? And it's our responsibility to understand that. Will we create a life just with machine, with high-level people who will use the machine, who will use augmented intelligence, and a lot of people who won't have a job? What is the impact on the society, on the government, is very important to understand. I want as a conclusion that you keep this in mind. It's perfect. We have a lot of things that can create artificial intelligence software. We have a lot of technology that can create augmented intelligence. It's perfect, it's very interesting. But we have to see the other side. And we have to see the consequences on enterprise, on work, on people of that. And it's very important for a data scientist, not just to be the best to program things, but to understand what will be the consequences on human beings. That's all I wanted to share with you. And si tienes algunas preguntas, puedo probar de dar una respuesta.
Perfecto. A ver, sí, a ver, tengo dos preguntas, Felipe. Primero que todo, muchas gracias. Honestamente, interesantísima tu presentación. La primera pregunta tiene que ver con algo más relacionado a nivel de adopción, es decir, por ejemplo, un negocio, una organización. ¿Qué es lo primero que debiese analizar o evaluar para ponerse a pensar en eficiencias a partir de, básicamente, en mejoras? Tú hablaste mucho, por ejemplo, de distintos tipos de industrias que pudiesen ser más eficientes por medio de inteligencia aumentada, ¿cierto? Hablaste mucho de esta diferencia de lo artificial por lo aumentada. Pero ¿qué debiese pensar en primer lugar una organización, ¿cierto? Con o sin canales digitales, para pensar seriamente los primeros pasos en este camino?
Me parece importante de tomar un parte de cada proyecto. Es importante de entender que Big Data, Artificial Intelligence, todo, no es un proyecto global para toda la empresa. Debe ser un proyecto con un focus. Puede ser el servicio a los clientes. Y vas a buscar cómo puedes utilizar datos y algoritmos para mejorar el servicio al cliente. Y que me parece muy importante es que Big Data no es un proyecto de tecnología, es un proyecto de negocio. Es un proyecto de negocio y es un proyecto que debes hacer paso a paso. Si tú transformas toda tu empresa, no me gusta mucho la idea de transformación digital, porque me parece muy peligroso de imaginar que toda una empresa puede cambiar en 6 meses o un año. Me parece muy importante de hacer como con la métoda ágil, de empezar con un pequeño proyecto, de buscar una solución para un problema de la empresa y si es el servicio al cliente puede ser una solución de chatbot y de entender cómo la empresa va a cambiar con este tipo de solución. Y después vas a buscar una otra solución para contabilidad, una solución para producción, una solución para marketing. Y al fin vas a hacer tu transformación digital. Pero la idea de tener como un grande proyecto que va a transformar toda la empresa, no creo que es posible.
No, buenísimo. Gracias por tu respuesta. Y otra pregunta. A ver, ¿cuál es el rol del científico de datos y el de data mining en estos tipos de proyectos? Repito, ¿cuál es el rol del científico de datos y el de data mining en este tipo de proyectos?
Es un rol muy importante porque es el señor o la señora que va a transformar los datos en moneda. Es la señora que va a transformar informaciones en una decisión. Y puedes tener millones o miles de millones de datos. Si no sabes cómo transformar y buscar los pequeños datos que son importantes para tu empresa, es el trabajo del data scientist. Y decimos mucho que datos es como petróleo. Y la idea es que antes, 20, 30, 40 años antes, el señor o la señora que va a buscar petróleo en el mar o en el cielo es una persona muy importante porque puede buscar algo que tiene mucho valor. Y la idea es que el data scientist tiene el mismo tipo de trabajo. Va a buscar dentro todos los datos de la empresa, va a buscar las pequeños datos que tienen valor. Y es porque es muy, muy, muy importante para una empresa de emplear 1, 2 o 3 data scientists. Y es muy importante para la gente que quiere trabajar con datos de tener las competencias de data scientist. Y solamente para terminar, las competencias de data scientist son 3 competencias. Una competencia de tecnología, debes trabajar con datos, con archivos, debes trabajar con tecnología. Una competencia de estadística, porque es un trabajo de matemática, de estadística. Y una competencia de comunicación. Es muy, muy, muy importante, porque tienes muchos data scientists que solamente saben tener la cabeza en los números y no saben comunicar con las personas de negocio. Y es importante de tener las 3 competencias: tecnología, estadística y comunicación. Y esa es la llave para ser un buen data scientist.
Ok, Philippe, la verdad, fascinante, fascinante. La verdad es que tenía otra pregunta, pero mira, por el tema de tiempo vamos a ir avanzando y la idea es que también quizás podamos comentarlos también al final de la sesión cuando terminen las distintas presentaciones. Así que nuevamente te agradezco mucho, Philippe, fascinante, lo repito, y vamos